All right, guys, welcome to episode 3, Hudson Valley Strong Dad Podcast. If you guys haven't already checked them out, check out episodes 1 and 2. Episode 3 is something that hits close to home with me, right? And a lot of these things I'm just going to open up and talk about. What I feel training a lot of men, training a lot of women, you get to see a lot of commonalities per se. So remember, this whole thing is about essentially fatherly relationships and how this could help you in your life. You know, just advice and whatnot. And then it's also the mind and body are connected, right? How to take care of your bodies and how to take care of your spirit. So one of the things that I've seen training men a lot, right? I would say more past 40 than in their 30s, is essentially they start to lose their fire and they start to lose who they are as men and they start to lose their identity, which is a troublesome road a little bit in my eyes. That's like you're on a cliff and there's a gradual, slow grade down. And you don't even notice. You never noticed when you're on the bottom because it was so gradual over years, as opposed to you just fell off the top of the cliff and just fell. If you just fell off the top of the cliff, you would know right away, right? And usually that ends up when we're hit with some type of ailment, health issue. All of a sudden we're all of a sudden something doesn't work. All of a sudden whatever. You're in the red, right? The other thing that happens, I think, in my opinion, is that you slowly take this walk down, right? So this, to me, opposite of mothers, obviously the fathers are the ones that are supposed to introduce adventure, open-mindedness, a lot of lessons to their sons and daughters. But one of the big things is that they start to lose, what I've always noticed is a lot of men lose their fire. And the conversations that they have with me are stuff that happened 15, 20 years ago in their quote-unquote golden years, right? Why haven't you done anything recently? Do you know what I mean? Because you're probably being a provider for everybody, but you don't have time management skills in a sense to be able to do things for you. And the things that you might do aren't consistent enough, right? And you do them sporadically, and you might get with your friends for a hunting trip or fishing trip or whatever, but there's also little things that you can do to keep stoking that fire, right? So one of the things, they slowly let out their soul, and maybe they're in a job that they fucking hate, right? And maybe they're making 150 grand, but could you live your life off of 90 grand to be happy? Most likely, right? You most likely could, right? Would this increase your relationships with your children, with your spouse, with whoever? More than likely not, right? There's not, like I said, there's not enough extracurricular activities, and I'm going to get into what those could be for you. It's a lot different, and I'm going to share with you what I do. And a very important question that I want you guys to get pen and paper and ask yourself. Like I said, you look back to your golden years, and why isn't that now, right? So one of the things, maybe you're into music, maybe you're into poetry, maybe you're into art. Maybe you like deep conversations with people. There's reasons why there's men's and women's groups when they're older, right? Maybe these are the things that hit these everything that gets lit up in the brain and the receptors and whatnot and invoke dopamine, the feel-good hormones. Maybe this is what you need. You know what I mean? When is it, like I said, that cliff ride, that walk down, that usually ends up with lack of taking care of yourself. Right? So if you start to kind of, you think that you look in the mirror and you look like shit, you start to feel like shit. And when you feel like shit, you don't feel too good about yourself. And that's a lack of confidence. That's a lack of fire. That fire is being stoked out. Because it's all about balance, which I actually have tattooed on me, which is pretty funny. This one I'm not going to keep that long. So what is it? What are the things? I want you to get a pen and paper and write, or really think hard. What are the things that make you feel important? And I want you to find a quiet spot, find a quiet place, no distractions, even if it's just 10 minutes. Really write down the things that make you feel important. And I'm going to give you an example of what mine are, right? One thing, number one, my son Maximus makes me feel really important. So whenever I'm with him, I feel important. I'm responsible, right? Number two is coaching. Whether I'm helping kids on the wrestling mat, or I'm coaching kids in the gym, or I'm helping adults with their fitness in the gym and laying out nutrition programs, training programs, making them understand how to put the complexity of the puzzle all together and how to navigate that, that makes me feel really important. Number 3, help someone with no expectations. That's a big one. That's a level of maturity you need to like achieve. But for me, at least, I don't expect anything. I don't want anything. This is just me helping you at all. I'm not even gonna tell anybody that I help you. And I've done it in the past. I do it all the time at the gym. Even though I just told you guys that. Clients, right? Make me feel really important. They come to me with real concerns and real questions. Emails, in kind of in my face in the spur of the moment. Athletes as well. Coach, I have a sprained ankle. Coach, I hurt my shoulder. Coach, I did this. Coach, blah, 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 blah. I figure it out for them. Makes me feel really important. I have an ex-career where I did electrical work, construction. I don't tell many people that because that's my past life and my old identity, and I've buried it. Not buried it, but I've shed that skin in a sense. But when I need to whip out back the tools, it kind of makes me feel important. I don't even tell anybody that I know how to do stuff. Mostly for the fact that they want me to do stuff, if you get what I mean. But still, I understand buildings, I understand construction, I understand electrical code, I understand carpentry code, plumbing code. I'm probably out of date with some stuff, but I still understand it. You know what I mean? I get the big gist of it. I spend 11, 12 years of my life using my body instead of my brain. All right? So some of these things I want you guys to understand. Why is it that you're slowly dying on the inside and your fire's being stoked out? That's a really, really, really important thing for men, right? You let your mind go, your body goes with it. Once your body goes with it, your mind goes kaput. Something to ponder about, guys. Coach Lee here, Hudson Valley Strong Dad Podcast. So there, guys.